Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Let's go.
Everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
everyone. Hi.
We're definitely here. We're good to go. On the show today, we met for the first time face to face. Our West Coast Eagle, it's halfway through the season.
Oh, yeah, no.
Jeremy McGovern joined us.
You'll never in a million years guess what I and Vance Joy have in common. I would say that. No one
I
will
agree.
ever
No.
guess it in a million
Totally
years.
agree with what you're
because
saying
it
there.
makes no sense.
I tell you what didn't make sense either when Ellie was claiming all the praise for helping me out in the newsroom yesterday.
Glory indeed, I would think you would call it glory.
There's a bit more to that story.
Yeah, turns out she's a bit of a bad girl. And then we speak to other people just like her.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Ellie
get
in
over
the
here.
studio.
We have. So
over here.
yesterday was a really big morning in the
know.
newsroom. It was full on, right? So all my computer went down in particular, and it was very hard to write the news stories. At the end of it, I'd written most of them for sport,
Yeah.
but then Ellie had to come through and she
Yeah.
saved my
Now,
bacon.
the
And you
amazing
gave
thing
credit
is
to her.
Shaun never comes in and says anything really positive about her and said, you know
About
what,
anyone.
Ellie's been amazing
true.
this morning.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? So we told Ellie and she just
You were
"Thanks."
glowing.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I was
and
like,
you lapped
You're
it up.
welcome.
You
You're
lapped
so
it up.
welcome. I'm just
Yeah.
a good gal doing
Yeah.
good things.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's helping the world.
So
instead of
then
hurting the world.
Eventually, Simon, our tech, came in and he had to do some really big renovations. Actually, Tim, you were there. You saw all the stuff that was going on. What was happening in the newsroom for that?
Yeah, he's literally pulled apart like
The wall.
The wall, like
Yes.
the framing of the wall is off. All these cords are everywhere. It was like a lot of work for Simon,
Yep,
so I felt
yep.
really, really bad.
We
for
actually
him.
found a dead Casanova in there, which was this guy that went missing for a while and everyone just thought he left. But we found him, so that was
In
a
the walls.
positive.
was
Yeah,
a
that's
positive.
great. R.O.P.
So anyway, after it all finished up, Ellie, Simon saved the day and he fixed the internet connection.
Yeah.
What was the problem?
He said that, strangely, the phone at Shaun's desk had become disconnected. And I realised that it was me that ripped the phone out of the cables because it was annoying me that morning. And I've caused
So-
this entire...
In a fit of rage, you brought down the entire newsroom.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like in my way, and I was like, not today. I just pulled the phone out of the wall. But, like, to be fair, like, I had my phone on, and there was a phone on the other desk, but Shaun's was annoying me
Now,
in particular,
Ellie.
so I pulled it out.
There's been suggestion that you had an inkling that it was something that you did in the morning while lapping up all of the praise.
I knew, because as soon as I pulled it out, his network went down. I thought, oh, that's weird.
So you just played dumb and just
Yeah.
went like,
And then
oh,
took the credit when he was like saying nice things to
Oh,
you.
not only that, I said to Tim, Tim, can you get Ellie a coffee for me? Like, honestly, she's just been a godsend
I
today
know.
for me.
wow.
And when you'd caused it all in the first
But
place.
this has really backfired because now it's literally on air for everyone to know. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, it needs to be said. Shaun,
Yeah.
it's devious, isn't it? But yet understandable. Sometimes you stuff up. Sometimes you stuff up and you don't say anything because you realise, okay, this is bad.
Yeah.
And then you just hope like someone else gets blamed or no one ever knows why.
No one ever knows why. That's the thing.
It's a mystery.
And you know it's you, and then every time it's brought up, you try and change the subject because you feel the vulture circling,
You can.
and you're just waiting for the penny to drop.
Well, when I saw the wall had been deconstructed, that was it. I sealed my fate. I'm not saying anything. Sorry.
Just want to welcome to the show Amy, our producer. Yeah, we got to.
Go on, Amy. Come on, Amy. You were saying it. You were saying it before.
Because it involves both of us, and I'm fine with that.
We both hold a secret, Nathan.
We do hold a
Yeah.
secret.
Okay, give me the rundown.
Yeah. So we can't remember what it was, Natalie, but we had something framed, right?
It was
That
some
was
sort of
being
memorabilia
auctioned.
And
thing,
it was going to
wasn't
be auctioned, so
Yeah.
it was like really expensive framing.
Yeah,
done.
and framing costs anywhere between like $500 to $1,000.
Yeah.
Just
'Cause it
for the
was-
frame
yeah.
itself,
Yeah.
right?
So what happened, Amy?
It got delivered here.
Yeah.
And I was unpacking it.
Yeah.
And you hear this. Because the scissors accidentally fell on the frame.
They
and
fell on the
damaged
frame.
it.
She scratched this big chunk out.
Oh,
of
you were
the
cutting
frame.
off the plastic.
Yeah, and she's got
Shaun.
she cut a big she
Yeah,
scratched
I
it major
scratched it.
right in this bit
Yeah.
where it's like very noticeable, and Amy was having a panic attack. Oh my god, this has got to be auctioned.
I nearly fainted, didn't I? I was sick.
Yeah, and it was just me and Amy in the room, and I said to Amy, "Don't say a thing." And she goes, "No, I got." And I said, "No, Amy,
said,
don't say a
I'm
thing."
going down there
I said,
now.
"No,
I'm
Amy,
gonna-
don't."
I'm gonna
I
tell
said,
them.
"Don't say." We're the only two that saw it. It came like that. And Amy's like, we can't do that. And I said, yeah, we can. That's it, Amy. It came like that. The end. That's the truth. That's what happened. It came like that. We'll explain it that way, and then it's someone else's problem. And that's what we did. And it's the first time
Amy.
we've talked about it.
Amy, what else are you lying about?
Have you guys checked out whatif.com's top 10 winter weekenders yet?
Yeah, how good's a what if tip?
Fraser Coast is in there, Coral Coast, Bruny Island, maybe Orange.
Yeah, look, book your winter getaway on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel. So yesterday, all sorts of technical issues in the newsroom. Ellie was lapping up the praise because Shaun, was really helped out by Ellie. It was
She saved me
extraordinary.
that,
And you were so nice to her. And she's like, yeah, I am great. But it turns out it was her fault all along and she knew it.
Yep.
So in a fit of rage, she'd pulled out a phone line, which had caused, and immediately all the technical issues started. We want to know if you knew that something was your fault, but you just didn't want to admit to it. Alicia is in Allenbrook. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, Alicia.
What happened?
Okay, so this is a long time ago, and I'm only telling this story now because both of my parents are deceased.
Alicia.
Nice.
Wait there. Keep having a laugh, Shaun.
Yeah, no, it was a long time ago. I've made my peace with that part.
Okay.
Anyway, so I grew up on a property, and we didn't have town services or anything like that, and I was a bit of a weird kid. And we also grew up in an area where there'd been a lot of gold.
Yeah.
Not in WA, but in New South Wales. And so one weekend, I was out between the house and the shearing sheds, just, I don't know, digging a hole and just messing around. I don't know, just really just being a weirdo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was just digging this hole, and then all of a sudden I see, like, wood under the ground, and in my brain, it was a gold mine shaft.
Of course. This is going to be it, Alicia.
But it was an old, and you hear these stories, there's so much gold in the ground that
So
never
many.
got taken up and all
Yes.
that sort of stuff.
All
And I was
those
like,
stories.
I've hit it.
Yeah.
And so I got my dad's, like, I don't know what it's got a proper name, but it's like a massive crowbar, like double my height and like
Okay.
as thick as my arm, this big crowbar
Yeah.
Yep.
thing. And so I'm smashing this into the ground and smashing through this wood that I found. I'm like, yep. And there was a cavity. I'm like, yeah, it's totally a gold mine.
Of course.
And I push it in, and then I hear this sort of like escape of air kind of sound, like a
Yeah.
and a terrible, terrible odor.
Oh, no.
And then I pull it out to have another crack in with this massive crowbar, and I get hit with a geyser of raw sewage.
Alicia.
Yuck.
You in the septic tank.
From what was the septic tank.
Yes.
And
And you went, this isn't gold?
This is not gold, and it is spewing everywhere. And I know enough about the farm to know what I've now done.
Yeah.
And because Dad has had problems with it before, and I was like, this is a problem. But I had to tell somebody at that point because I couldn't pretend that was a thing that hadn't happened. So I ran back to the house, and my dad was at shearing time, so we had a bunch of shearers, and I ran and I said to my mum that I'd seen the shearers because they were digging a pit to have a bonfire.
You blamed the
And that
shearers.
I blamed the shearers. So two of the shearers were immediately expelled, and Dad badmouthed them all over town and all over the whole district.
Alicia.
And he was two steps away from taking them to some sort of civil claims court.
They swore they didn't do it.
They swore they didn't do it. They got into a massive blue with my dad, lots of colourful language. He told him where he could stick his sheep.
Yes.
And then my parents had to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars to fix because it had to be fully excavated and taken out. It wasn't a patch job. We had to get a whole new
system put in.
And to this day, I have told other people, but my parents went to their grave.
They never knew.
What if
those shearers?
What if that's the start of where their life
downward spiral.
down out of control?
Honestly, I hate to think. I hate to think what I did to those poor men's careers.
Couldn't get a job in the district.
I think they were, bad-mouthed. Those were the shearers that...
Oh, they were run out of town. They were literally run out of town.
Probably ended up in Longreach over
Alicia,
there.
I don't know how you sleep at night. years later.
Good girl.
You monster.
All right, let's go on to
Thank
someone
you.
that we're going to call James. Hello, James.
Yeah, g'day guys, how you going?
Good,
Good,
James.
James. Okay, what did you do wrong that you never really admitted to?
Okay, so I've been a mechanic for a few years now, and back in the day when I was an apprentice, I was servicing a car, and just an oil change. So I did an oil change, sent the car out, and the car had just been bought by a customer. It was the car was pretty much brand new, And about a month later, the car comes in. It won't work. It won't turn on. It's coming on a tow truck.
Yeah.
And so someone's come and had a look at the car, and then we had to take it apart.
Mm.
And then I'm pretty sure I remember that vehicle from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I remember that I have a little seal on my desk from about a month ago that I didn't know where it came from.
James.
And around the oil filter, sometimes you put a little rubber seal to stop all the oil from coming out.
Yeah.
Turns out I forgot to put that little oil seal around the oil filter, so
Went,
all
that's
the oil
where it went.
And the brand new customers, obviously they were pretty picked. I work with, we've got to replace everything and replace the engine and do all
So
this sort of
it
stuff.
completely seized the engine, did it?
Yeah, would have.
Yeah, completely. And like when the engine seizes, you got to replace everything: bearings, pits, that's just to name a few. And the manual labour is like days to pull. It takes about a week, depending on who's doing it, to pull the engine apart, put back together, new parts and all that stuff.
And you didn't.
Oh, I wonder where that went.
You didn't utter a word that it was you, and that was the seal, and you just let it go.
Yeah.
Sean, my favourite thing about that entire story was when Natalie says, "And that seized the engine," and you went, "Yeah, it would."
Like
I know, mate. I know, mate.
Kidding me?
One thing I know. It's one thing.
Sean, not even my favourite thing. It says, "Oh, engine sugars." Yeah, it would.
It would.
Yeah, it would.
There's no oil in there. I've been through it. Blown the engine up.
I cannot with you right
Thank you, James.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Are you feeling better, Ellie, about yourself ruining the entire computer system here at Nova?
I'm feeling a lot better.
By pulling out a phone cord and not telling anyone you did it?
At least the only career is destroyed in this one of mine. So
Yeah, you haven't ruined the life of two shearers. That's what we're talking about right now. I'm
monsters
stuffing
out there.
up and not saying a thing.
Carolee, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Carolee.
Carolee, okay. What happened?
Okay, so one night me and my partner went out and we weren't allowed to bring alcohol, so we put some vodka in a bottle of water.
Yep.
And we took it with us. Anyway, we come home. We didn't drink all of our vodka. We left it in a water bottle, and we just put it on the table and went to bed. And because we lived with my mother-in-law, and she had a massive fish tank, and she used to keep the bottles of water in the fish tank.
Yeah.
So we left it on the table, and then come the next day or two, the water started going all gross, and the fish started dying, and she was hysterical. And then we found out that she tipped that bottle of vodka into the fish tank.
Yes.
She'd had these fish for years. She loved her animals.
Yes.
And all the fish had died. She was hysterical. She got my partner to clean it. But still to this day, she does not know it was us that left that bottle of vodka that was in the water bottle, that it was us.
How many years ago was this, Carolee?
I would say probably about, at least 10 years ago.
That's good.
Wouldn't it be
Kept on rats for
amazing?
a
And she's
solid
wondering
decade.
why she's looking in the fish tank and two of them are punching on.
Yeah, that's right.
Another couple of them are making out. There's one that's throwing up over the little pirate ship.
Oh, thanks, Carolee. Talia's in North Freo. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Good,
All right,
Talia.
Talia. How did you stuff up and not tell anyone? What happened?
Well, my brother and I were in the shed and we were lighting up pieces of paper, as you do. We were just casually watching them burn, and then we got a little bit adventurous, and it wasn't doing it for us anymore. So we took the paper out the side, and Mum had told us to mow the lawn. So we took it out this little tiny hole that was in the shed, and we were sort of lining it up there, and then all of a sudden the whole side of the between the shed and the fence just caught on fire and took off.
Yes.
So here we were in like panic mode, running and getting the hose, and I think it must have been winter or something. Like luckily it didn't do too much damage, but we ran down. We realised once the fence was on fire that we needed to go tell Mum. So my brother and I sat out the side of the house and we're going, all right, this is what happened. And we come up with this massive story, run into Mum, and we were like, we were doing what you told us to do. We were mowing the lawn, and then all of a sudden it just blew up on fire and the whole fence. So I think we had 1 or 2 fireys come out and put the fence out.
Yes.
And my mum looks at my brother, and we'd come up with this massive story for like 5 minutes in panic mode, and looks at my brother and happened. And my brother just looked her dead in the eye and told the truth, and I got my ass.
Oh, he caved in. You don't need those people
then
around you.
he's the person
They do.
that is the honest one.
I mean, the fully functioning lawnmower in the shed probably would have given it away as well.
Yes. I know you should have said there was a spark off the lawnmower next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah.
But it bought a turncoat,
Loose
by
lips,
the way.
sink ships.
Exactly.
I tell you what, though, it must be a terrifying stage of parents when they realise their children are like into burning things.
That's right.
Because you do. You go through that stage.
You do
of,
that stage.
Look what fire can do. It's a bit of fun.
It's bad.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
Just a quick one on footy. Paul Sam Switkowski, Nathan, at the Fremantle Dockers.
Sam
Probably
Switkowski.
Yes.
Probably a name you wouldn't know
Paul
too well.
Sam Switkowski.
No, Paul. As in,
Oh,
the
I thought
poor
you meant
guy.
Paul.
No.
Sam Switkowski.
Oh, there's a name. That could be a name somewhere. I'm
Yeah,
sure
but
we'd
it's not.
find that.
But
It's not.
a
His
name.
name's Sam.
Sam,
Yeah.
great.
He's got back stress fractures that kept him out of the 2020 season
Well,
for the most thing.
Oh,
And-
it's got a
and I
history
think
of it.
I think it's stuffed his season from here on in.
Do you reckon? What, a back fracture?
Yeah, many.
Wow, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
How that would stuff someone up.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Many of them.
Happens to fast bowlers a lot, but
does.
it's really
He's no
unfortunate.
fast bowler, but he's been really important to the
Yeah,
Dockers, so
he
they don't
has
want the
been
wheels
great.
to be falling off just yet as the season
So-
goes into the back half.
With many back fractures, I'm
Yes.
just guessing there's just don't do much.
Rest.
Yeah,
pretty
there wouldn't
much.
be. I don't think. I mean, what?
And then
yeah.
what
There'll be some
fitness
great-
could you keep up with not
Yeah,
aggravating
really good
that?
question.
He'll probably have to do a lot of Pilates and stuff to strengthen like
God.
that, like the deep abdominal muscles and stuff.
Wow,
to
being in a
strengthen
room
the back.
Yeah.
with many people farting, surrounded by candles.
Spelling their name out with their legs, Nath. as
Yeah,
you
Pilates.
think. I've been doing it. It's been really great.
Yeah.
Really great.
Do you doing Pilates?
Back
Yeah.
into it, Beck.
Do you have
Thank you
your
for
own
looking after me at
Pilates,
Apex. No, what you do is you end up
do the
no,
reformer
the
stuff?
worst thing, right? So the other day, I'm in with these late, and I'm sweating like a demon all over everything. That's the worst. Like
Yeah.
I can imagine what they're thinking. Have a look. Have a go.
Yeah,
at this
he's
bloke.
disgusting. Look at him.
Yeah, and
You
I
can
can't
touch your
help
toes,
it.
can't you?
Oh.
Yeah, with the right incentive.
Or do I have to put down there? Or do you have to just make sure
Money.
nothing's behind
I was
you?
going to say today you can
What are we
literally
talking
drop
about?
$2.
Are you trying to protect something or go for something?
Make your mind up. Choose your own adventure, I say. So anyway, that's the footy thing, and good luck
Yeah.
for Sam. A lot of Eagles players are back from injury, and hopefully that will help them out in the next couple of weeks as they kickstart their season following the bye.
Kickstart the
I
season.
don't think that's going to happen. But over to tennis, which I mentioned we're going to talk about. So Nick Kyrgios has hit a bit of form.
Yeah.
And he believes it's to do with playing on grass. This is Nick after his win over Stefanos Tsitsipas. Yes.
It doesn't help. There's only 4 or 5 weeks a year on grass. If there was as many grass court tournaments in Australia as there is clay court tournaments in Europe, I'd never leave Australia. But as I said, I feel like I'm one of the best on the grass, and hopefully maybe this week. But it's one round at a time, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh,
Yeah, but you know
modesty
what?
isn't his strong suit,
It
is
isn't, is he? He's the best at all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't have more grass courts because of the watering days.
Yeah, that's right.
They're restricted, Shaun.
They are, and that was brought in 1987, Nath, which was the last time Australian Open was played on the grass.
Thank you.
Down at Kooyong, eh?
Yeah, and
you.
you know what? I
Research,
kind of think,
everyone.
but think about all the major tournaments around the world and all the major countries. They stick to their clay season. They have their hard court season with the US and over in England when we're coming up to Wimbledon. Of course, that's on grass as well. Why did we Why did we decide to change from grass in Australia? Because that was the only time Australians really had a significant
Because, Shaun,
advantage.
watering
Do you
restrictions.
think
Yes.
it was just that?
Well,
mate?
I do think that, but I do really think so. There's clay and there's grass,
And
then
hard
there's
court.
hard court.
Yeah.
Why is there not bitumen, which most of us played on as
It's a great-
children?
that is a
Why
great
is
point.
there not bitumen?
I agree.
Because the
We
amount of
would've
us,
seen-
that's how we all grew up with tennis, on hard, dangerous bitumen.
Why is it there?
You won't see anyone going for a
dive.
A dive. Trying to get
Like,
over-
I'll watch that Wimbledon.
What about AstroTurf?
Yeah, why not AstroTurf?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you get carpet burn on that, but that's no
but
drama.
I mean, they play hockey on it. They play other sports
they
on
play
it.
the NFL's played on that kind of stuff. That's not a bad idea.
What is it?
That saves the watering days.
Is it to do with the bounce of the ball or something? Maybe. I
think it was to do because we used the rebound ace, whatever, at Melbourne Park. But it's taken away the advantage the Australian tennis players have had
that we had in the 1950s. Yeah, you're right.
Talking about the 50s.
Well, we were successful then.
Yeah, no, but like the Russians weren't playing then. All the Eastern Europeans weren't playing then. There's more competition now.
Talking about the 50s. What about Lino, Shaun?
Lino.
I mean,
yes. Oh, that was
but sweat
green.
It would not go well.
What about floorboards?
You hit a pool of sweat.
The sweat kids would be busy, for sure.
Well, anyway, I think your suggestion's great. Bitumen would be the go from here on in, or AstroTurf.
Don't you reckon?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's see.
Body on the line.
And Nick, let's see who's hardcore on bitumen. Let's see that.
Are you going to declare yourself the best in the world at it, like he does?
Why not?
Say it then.
Mate, I'm the best in the world at bitumen tennis.
I
actually am.
Road tennis has a history.
If you've ever heard the road tennis story, sailors will attest.
It's what Nathan plays to avoid getting it on with the sailor.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Vance Joy, his new album In Our Own Sweet Time is out now, and we have the man himself live right now. Good morning, Vance.
Good morning, Nat. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hello,
good
Vance.
to see you, buddy.
Now
The question
everyone's
is
social distancing. Everyone
Yes.
takes 6 feet back. He's got COVID.
How are you? You look pretty sprightly.
You look good.
Yeah, thank you. I feel good. I had a couple of days of sleep and sitting and watching stuff on the couch, so I've totally restored. It was a very mild case.
Hey, so were you gonna play at the Big Freeze at the G just a couple of days ago?
I was.
man.
Unfortunately, I missed out. I got in. I was a bit fluey when I arrived. Like as I arrived.
Yeah.
Not as I arrived, but when I got home, and then and then it's just that's the way it turned out. I would have been great, and it would have been an awesome. It looked like an awesome day. So next time,
definitely.
What were you watching on the couch, Vance?
I've been watching. Just on my phone. I've been watching the footy highlights, and I also watched the NBA highlights of the playoffs. So just keeping up to date with everything.
Oh, okay. So no Bridgerton or anything. That's interesting.
No, Golden State and Celtics. Very similar to Bridgerton. No, probably not.
It's a drama of its own sort.
Oh, there's a stair scene that could translate, Shaun. You recently back from Toronto, hey?
Yes, I was just over there. Had the last show of this little tour we did there.
I've never been to Canada up that way.
Are they really as polite as what everyone says, the Canadians?
They're super polite. They're lovely. Yeah, there's a connection between Australians and Canadians. I think we're kind of on the same wavelength. So I think that's why people like my music over there. It feels a bit similar to Australia in some ways, but they're very sweet and polite. That's true.
Hey Vance, I want to ask you about every time you make a song, it's a sing-along song. It's always joyful in just about every single time, right? Metallica, how does that play linked into your life?
Yeah, when I was 14, I kind of had a guitar, but I didn't really like playing it. I didn't like doing music lessons, all that kind of stuff. And then I had a friend over, and he was really good at guitar. He played all the Metallica intros. And I saw him playing Nothing Else Matters, and I was like, wow, he's a genius. I was like, he's like a prodigy. And so, little did I know that was basically what every 14-year-old guitar player would want to play. But to me, he was a virtuoso, and that got me going, and that's why I wanted to learn guitar, and it kind of sparked a lifelong interest in music, really.
Apart from Spotify, which now we all have on our phones, I've only ever owned 4 albums on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, you love that, I remember.
Another one is The Best of Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, another good one.
Vance Joy, your album with Fire and the Flood, that's one of them, and I won't say what the other is.
Oh, come on. We've got this far, tell.
It's truly him. No, because I want Vance to feel like he's in great company. Okay, it's Buffy the Vampire musical.
Oh, the musical episode.
Once more with feeling.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What?
Like, that is actually amazing. I have the record of that.
Isn't it amazing?
My brother kind of he was the first fan in our family, and then he kind of kind of opened my eyes to the how good a show it was, and
The
then
way
so
of
I was
Buffy,
obsessed with this show.
Yeah.
And I know the whole musical off by
I
heart.
know all the
you know.
music as well. Like once more. No, what's the one with the jazz singer that sings to Michelle Trachtenberg?
You mean the bad guy?
Yeah, the bad guy. Yeah. That's an amazing song. Oh, you need to cover it.
Yeah,
You'd
I
have
know
the
a bunch
voice
of
to
them.
do that. Oh, Vance! Wow, we've untapped something there.
Hey, so
I've always tried to get these two into Buffy, and they've never gone down that track. And
I watched it once, but it wasn't a passion.
It's so clever. It's so funny, isn't it, Vance?
It's clever. It's funny. The musical episode is just next level. It's so funny. Like, you know what? It's very rare to find this connection. Like,
not in your wildest dreams was no one going to bring that up.
This is a bromance for the ages, obviously, forged over the Buffy musical episode.
Well, you know what? Nathan's right. This screams for a cover during live performances, because you always go to a concert and see whoever performs. They chuck in a song here or there.
There might be a Buffy fan in the crowd.
It could alienate a few people, I think, but we'll see.
Well, there you go. So you mix it up with a Metallica song.
Yeah.
And why you got everybody covered.
Something for everyone, exactly.
But you guys...
Nathan's madly been Googling too.
No. I've got like Under Your Spell, What You Feel, and you got... I've got a theory. Let me just play you what this...
This is from Buffy soundtrack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I've got a theory. Here we go. This is
I've got a theory that it's a
demon.
That's a demon. No, something
isn't right.
Got a theory. The kid is dreaming.
And we're all stuck inside
his wacky Broadway night.
That's a musical.
It is a musical, Shaun.
It's getting weary. What's this dreary singing all about? This is best. It could be witches, some evil witches, which is ridiculous because witches, they were persecuted, wicked, good, and love the earth and live in power, and I'll be over here.
Yes.
Yes, man.
Hey, Vance, can you believe Nathan's been single for over a decade?
You know what is weird is that Vance, like he played footy, like he's a footy playing normal person, and then there's you,
and then you're this.
Well, maybe people are going to reevaluate what they think of me when they realise it. They're like, that's probably, it was hard at the footy club to be doing laps and being like, so what do you think of the latest, the Buffy episode? Or like, you don't know off by heart. It's like, that's why when you know, and that's why me and Shaun.
That is absolutely brilliant. When was the last time you had a run around, Vance?
I did a couple of practice matches and a fair few trainings for there's like the pub football league in Melbourne, and there's a team, it's the Cooters, the Lomond Hotel, and I did a few trainings, but unfortunately I never got to play a game. It never worked out timing wise, but I just love going to training and doing the drills. Can
you believe Boomer Harvey's still playing? He's like the AFL records holder, and he still plays suburban footy.
Wow. I mean, some people are just, and it's just a different breed, I guess, of just endurance and ability. But he's a legend. He just got in the Hall of Fame, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. You should be in a Hall of Fame for music soon, shouldn't you?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe if I can keep making music, and maybe
tend to put really old people in, don't they? It's got its body of work over a long time.
I think I have to keep plugging away for a while.
I feel like if you suddenly get on some of those lists, you should watch your mortality, because I do feel like you're going to, if you're not dead, you're going to die.
I don't want to, let that happen. If it's ever going to happen, that'll be cool. But
I found the one that I want you to cover. Here it is, man.
Away, don't you like my style? Why don't you come and
What's this name?
This is What You Feel.
Great big smile. I come from the imagination, and I'm here strictly by your
invocation.
It's okay, there it is.
Cover it for all of us nerds, please.
You're a joy.
Me and Shaun we should probably do a podcast or something where we can really dive deep. And I know that it's not the format necessarily to listen to. We can probably sing every song, but I know we don't have time.
I'm down with that.
There goes the rest of the show. Check out In Our Own Sweet Time, Vance Joy's new album. Thank you so much for joining us, Vance. Thanks, always
mate.
a joy.
Pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Always
Lovely
a
to see you.
discovery
All the
with that,
best.
man.
Isn't it just?
No,
Just peeling off the
unbelievable.
layers of the onion. Cheers. It's 5 to 8 on Nova.
I'm the hottest
Here we go. That's so good.
It's so good, isn't it?
Great
You never have to hide that. You never have to hide that.
Let it
All right, catch you, man.
Love you guys. See you later. Good to see you.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
Time to catch up with West Coast Eagles star Jeremy McGovern, and look out, he's back in the studio, and this means he's back playing for the West Coast Eagles this weekend, I'm suggesting.
Not back in the
Look,
studio. First time in the studio.
Look us in the eye.
Yeah.
You're playing?
Yes. Oh, I've got to get through today. If
Okay.
I get through today, I'm playing.
What, this interview or?
Yes. Yeah, it starts here. This is the hard bit, and then it gets easier at training. But no, I got training today, main training, and then once I've got through that,
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm more than. I've
Okay,
said it
he's
before.
looking,
I've said it
he's
before.
looking me in the eye, but now he's gone
I've said
too
it before
far.
to ears, but
I know.
I'm 99.9. I got to get through today, and I'm good.
Why is both your arms in a sling?
Precautionary.
That's it, they wear a moon boot these days. They go, oh, it's just precautionary. Like, your legs in plaster. What are you doing? So, Gav, you had the time off, which was great.
Yep.
Freshen up. You didn't get away, though, did you?
No, I kept it pretty local. I was moving house and mucking around here and getting the back right pretty much, which sounds right. Moving house and getting your back right doesn't exactly go well together. But so removalists moving the house. But I just hung around with the kids and spent a bit of time here. So yeah, I would love to have got away, but I'm here.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm tall enough to party.
Tall enough to ride this ride. As they say in the adventure world.
He's another tall drink of water, isn't he?
Yeah. No, I'm 196. Depends who you ask, because when we get asked at the start of the year how tall you are, the taller you are, the taller guys go at the front, the plant. So you put a bit of mail.
So 210.
So in the books, I'm probably 198, but I'm about 196.
Oh, that's what the Wildcats do when they get an overseas player import.
Yeah, they do.
They
Every
always
time.
get here and they go, I must have shrunk on the trip.
Yeah. It's so funny in that.
So people say that you are taller than what they expect, aren't they, when they meet you?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And like I said, I hope they say I look skinnier and better than I do on TV, because I got to head for radio. I'm glad I'm in here.
Well, Gav. So I played with your dad, and I played against him. He's my size.
Yeah, he's short, Dad.
Yeah, and your mum's not. I can't remember her being that tall either.
Oh, she's about the same height as Dad, so in female terms, a little bit taller, but yeah, she's not massive, no.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So both the boys are tall, so particularly you.
Yep.
Because your brother's about 6'3".
Yeah, he's just under me. I think he's about 6'3". He's always just under me.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
My parents aren't tall either, and that came out of nowhere because no one else in our family's tall. And in year 7, I had to have a teacher's desk because I was the biggest kid at school. So there was the teacher.
I mean, he was 25, so
so there was a teacher at the front, and then there was all the students, and then I had a teacher's desk at the back, mirroring the teachers at the front, and I had a filing cabinet and everything because I couldn't fit.
When did you start shaving as a kid?
Oh, that was in utero. It was actually really painful for Mum.
And yet Shaun hasn't started yet, so figure that out.
So when did you shoot up?
I was late, actually.
Yeah?
I played Colts and I was a ruckman then, but I wasn't overly tall. And then I got drafted. Since I got drafted, I reckon I put about 6 centimetres, I reckon.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that would have been a good surprise for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would have picked it, but no, I shot up pretty late, yeah. So, it's just good. Whatever, it is what it is. But, I'm glad I shot up a bit.
Yeah, but it is bad when you're walking down the street and then, you get collected by a branch and then also webs. Have you noticed the web situation?
Yeah, the webs always get
We
me.
always get webs. You wouldn't know, Shaun.
I wouldn't know. I don't
There's
know.
webs up there, so we walk past and because you shorties clear the webs for yourself.
With a broom.
We're not. We don't come along that frequently. So
if you guys are getting webs, what is Aaron Sanderland's getting?
Oh, mate, hit his head on a
chemtrails.
Birds, anything that's flying.
The International Space Station.
Shaun, does it make you feel old that you played with Jeremy's dad and yet he's now, one of the veterans of the Eagles? How old does it make you feel?
It only dawned on me the other day, Gav, because I went to the Waffle last Derby Day last long weekend, right?
Yep.
And I got inspired to check out when I was playing at the Waffle, which is against your dad, right? 1994 grand final.
Yeah.
And that made me go, holy shit.
How old were you there?
Yeah.
How old were you there?
I was 2.
It's been
I
lovely.
started on your dad.
It's
on the ground.
been
Oh, there
lovely
you go.
meeting you. You can get the F out.
Ken Judge, in the meeting, he said you're gonna play an Andrew McGovern in the middle of the ground.
Oh,
That's
there you
your
go.
job for the day. And then your dad got injured and he broke his foot at some stage. It's like, oh, thank God for that. Chasing
There you
this fella
go.
around.
Oh, he hasn't told me that. But did they win 94?
No, he won. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I wouldn't be telling the story otherwise. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's amazing because then obviously the governor went to Claremont and then he was picked up by the West Coast Eagles with the links to Fremantle under Jared Neesham, and then you go, what? How did that happen?
Yeah.
And then Fremantle tried to pay the governor like $1 million to come over and join,
really?
but he wouldn't come.
Said, nah, don't want any
Said,
dirty purple money.
Yeah, I'll take the $1 million off West Coast. That's cool.
No, it was not like that, Shaun. But no, I always wanted to be one club player, of course, and obviously back for Freon when I grew up. But I loved West Coast and still do, and there was no reason for me to leave. Well, unless you're looking at it now. But
how many players out there are wanting the one club experience?
Yeah, well, Pav
Is
talked
that
about it the
huge?
other night when he accepted the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Because it's a big deal, isn't it?
It depends who you are, and I think it's going to change. I think the more the game goes on and evolves, it'll be less and less people, I think, personally.
Yes.
But I've always wanted to be a one-club player, and I admire Pav massively for being a one-club player and what he's done, and obviously he didn't get the premiership, but he pretty much did every single thing other than that. But I admire him for sticking around and staying with the one club. I think it's great.
Yeah, we're a one-station show just because of
no one else wants it.
There's some people who don't have a choice.
They don't, do they?
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Gov.
Jeremy McGovern in the house.
The thing that we discovered about you just recently is that you don't like clutter.
Nah, not really. Oh, yeah, no, I don't. I don't like clutter. I've had a lot of clutter in my house lately, but I don't like it.
Yeah. And what we've said with Gov, and Gov came up with the idea himself, is that maybe a way that we could get rid of clutter is to do a brand new thing.
Tree. What's he asking? $4.50. Tell him he's dreaming.
Govtree, when Gov goes through some of the crap he's got at his house and hand selects pieces to give away to our listeners. But what we're going to need is some people to pitch as to why they want it. 13, 24, 10. Gov, what have you brought in today?
What's on offer?
What have I got in today? It is extremely unique.
Unique.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, well, that's no pun intended there, but it is a pretty much brand new.
It's in pristine condition.
Yeah, it's in pristine condition unicycle.
A unicycle.
So, I mean, you wouldn't think everybody's got a unicycle in their garage. How did it end up in your garage?
It ended up in my garage because I know how to ride one, obviously. That's why I bought it.
Yep.
And I was doing a tour de fridge, and I thought I would.
Tour de fridge.
So
I thought I'd do it a bit differently, and had a crack on the unicycle. So
what was it like towards the end of the day?
I threw it in the back of an Uber.
So if you want Gov's unicycle, 13, 24, 10, we need you to pitch for why you should get it, because Gov's going to ultimately decide the good home it's going to.
Gov, how did you first learn how to ride a unicycle?
I actually learned how to ride a unicycle in the middle of the desert in a town called Warburton.
Yes.
The school got donated a heap of circus gear, and when we were out there, there wasn't a lot we could do out there, so I actually learnt to ride it out there.
Because not everybody knows that you spent a fair bit of your childhood living sort of in really remote communities, right?
Yeah, I had a fair few years out
Remote
there.
circusy communities.
It was all happening.
So all the Indigenous kids would be getting around. How
100%.
good were they?
Yeah, way better than what I am. But there was heaps of all the different circus instruments and stuff out there, but the unicycle was the one I got drawn
really
to.
took
And
to,
Now, I don't know my unicycles, but the brand is DRS, is it?
Yeah, DRS, the Solo DRS.
The Solo.
The Solo. Right, as if you're going to get a tandem unicycle. How would that work?
It doesn't have brakes.
No
Gravity is your
brakes,
enemy.
just the one seat.
All right, well, we have our first contender, Jonathan from Canning Vale. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Jonathan.
Now,
Welcome.
tell us why you deserve Jeremy McGovern's unicycle.
I think I deserve Jerry McGovern's unicycle because it would help me remember the player, help me scream a lot louder when the game came on. I'd be barracking for him, and it'd be a story to tell my friends, just help the cause a little bit.
Okay, Gov, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah?
I'd like to see if someone would use it or try use it.
So the commitment would be whenever you were watching the Eagles play, it would be on a unicycle.
Yeah,
most definitely.
All right. Well,
here we go.
All
right.
Okay.
You hang there, Jonathan. We'll move on to Renee and Sterling. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Great,
Good,
Renee.
Renee.
Meet Jeremy McGovern.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, Renee. Why do you want his unicycle?
I wanted to. My husband's got 4 bikes, and I think he needs a different type of road bike.
So your husband has
ride
4
around.
bikes, so you want him to have 4.5?
4.5.
So do you think he's going to be in the Lycra, following along all his mates in
on
the
the
Peloton
unicycle, yeah.
on a Saturday morning?
Yeah.
On a
Yes.
unicycle? Yeah, okay.
Jeez, he wouldn't be doing his
Saturday
time at
and
the front, would
Sunday
he?
morning.
Saturdays and Sundays, Natalie.
I
So Saturdays are for 2
apologise.
wheels, Sundays are for 1. Apparently, right, Gov? So you've taken that on board?
Yeah, I've taken that on board. Is he wear lycra?
Yes, totally.
Head to toe.
Privilege, not a right, no.
There you go. It is a privilege, not a right, Gov.
Thank you, Renee.
Might have just been a cross against your name then, Renee.
Sarah, hello.
Hello, how you going?
Great, Sarah.
Welcome to Govtree. Why do you want Gov's unicycle?
Oh, look, I would love it for my 15-year-old son. It's actually his birthday today. He is known around our suburb. Every time someone says, I saw Jack today, he's always pulling a mono. So,
Okay, so he's halfway there. He can basically do it already.
I love a mono.
Right.
I mean, have you
Yeah.
not got him anything for his birthday, Sarah? You've left it a bit late.
Look, he got a couple of things. Like, I think he did all right. But I think a unicycle would really just put the cherry on the cake this morning. But yeah, so he's even one time we have a friend who's a police officer, and he was in the suburb, and he said, "Oh, I saw Jack today. He was in his cop car, and he pulled out straight in front of him, crossed through the roundabout on his back wheels." So I was like, "Oh, that's good to see you."
That's pretty good.
Had a helmet on.
Good
Yeah.
for the
At
mono.
least he had a helmet on.
What do you
there you
think,
go.
Gov? As a
Yeah,
parent, do you have any concerns about giving a child like this a unicycle?
No, I think it's great for their development, personally.
How's
I
your
mean, not
health
his own kids, but other people's kids.
How's your health insurance, Sarah? You all paid
Oh,
up?
police health, actually. So, no, we're all good. We're sorted. Actually, don't put the jinx on me, though, because I couldn't handle his broken leg or something.
Yeah, I know. All right, you hang there, Sarah. And our final contender is Joe from City Beach. Good morning, Joe.
Hello. Good
Hey,
morning.
Joe.
All right, Joe. Why do you want to get your hands on Gov's unicycle?
Look, back a few years ago, I used to work at a supermarket in Wembley, and I used to pretend to be a clown quite often, juggling oranges and getting around the shop. I thought I could add it to the act.
Yes.
But I've got to say, I reckon the 15-year-old kid that pops monos probably deserves it more than me.
Oh, so
Joe.
so you're getting on and saying, no, actually, somebody else deserves it more. Oh, that's-
Well, my juggling act was a long time ago.
How old are you now, Joe?
Oh, very.
Oh, but you can't say the number. It is very, isn't it?
More rings on his ring.
Now, have you got life insurance? Is the question.
I got to pedal the wireless just to keep this phone running. That's how old I am. Yeah,
Oh, bless you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Well, it's up to you, Governor.
Yeah, I got to go with Joe. It's pretty hard to go past the birthday boy, doesn't it?
Oh, so
I think
Sarah?
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
She got you with the
I feel
birthday,
bad
didn't she?
not-
Yeah.
Yeah, she got me with the birthday.
Hello, Sarah. You are now the proud owner of Jeremy McGovern's unicycle.
That's awesome.
Neither
Thanks,
Jeremy
guys.
McGovern nor Nova 937 take any responsibility from what happens hereafter.
Read the T's and C's.
Sarah, what's your son's name?
His name is Jack.
All right.
Jack.
Happy birthday, Jack.
So when you see him riding around Piara Waters on a unicycle, you know who
Yeah,
he is.
we'll know who's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Happy birthday, Jack. Enjoy it, mate.
We're going to get Gov to sign that for you as well. So we've just
Oh, perfect.
Just
upped
bring the
cost
value
of
down
that.
a bit.
There you go.
I'll just
exactly.
devalue it for you.
Everybody, Gov has got more things to give away, so
That's right.
Govtree will be returning.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.